Welcome back to Sports Corner. I'm here with Dwain Romsa. Now, the big news about Dwain, he just won the national championship for the 55 to 59-year-olds in the Decathlon in Wisconsin. So, Dwain, what was that like to win it all?
Well, it was kind of surprising, actually, because I went into the event not anticipating that I would win, but I just wanted to stay steady and give 90% in each event, just get through each event without getting injured or getting hurt. And the strategy seemed to pay off because in the end, the last man standing, I got lucky, and here it is.
And Dwain, if many of you don't know, was a University of Wyoming Cowboy back in the day. So what did you take from that time competing with the Pokes that you could carry over into this competition now?
Well, that was a long time ago, of course. My wife, as some of you know, still holds the university heptathlon record, so it's kind of in the family. And I did long jump, triple jump at the time, and was just kind of a middle road athlete. One thing that really helped in the last 5 years is that we used to just go out and run and run and run and try to get stronger and stronger and stronger and hope things worked out. And about 5 years ago, we had a young gal in our club that set a national record and won some national titles. And we got a chance to visit with some world-class coaches. And we found out that a lot of the things that we were doing really weren't the best way to go about things. So we revamped our whole program, and it's really paid off well.
And Dwain is speaking of the speed camp that you guys are hosting right now. Some of the athletes coming right almost into our shot here. And you were speaking of the scientific approach to training. What exactly was the training like for you going from being a jumper in college to competing in the decathlon now?
Well, when I was a kid and in college, and the history there is that a lot of the coaches I had were old World War II vets that were in the military or, Vietnam or whatever. And so they always had this philosophy that the best way to make an athlete is just to get tougher and tougher and tougher, do a lot of repetitions, a lot of hard work, and hope that some natural talent stacked on top of that made the best man win. And when I was 50 years old, I suddenly discovered that that's not true. Being tougher doesn't make you faster. And I can tell from personal experience that what I did before I was 50 and what I did after I was 50 was a completely new world. The training isn't as, you don't go home, you're not sore at night, you're not sweating, because everything is quick and intense. And it really works out well. But from personal experience, it's just a whole different concept, and it pays off quite well.
And speaking of quick and intense, the guy we were just waving to, Mayor Charlie Powell, is out here competing with and against some of the kids you have in the group. What is it like for you guys to go up against some of the Kelly Walsh, Glen Rock, and NC athletes and push you in that way?
Oh, it's a lot of fun because, of course, they don't want the old guys to have a chance to beat them. And, of course, we don't want them to show us up so much that it's embarrassing. So there's some good friendly competition. We have a lot of good times, and everybody gets along well. And just as a side note, in case people watching don't know, Mayor Charlie Powell was part of a world record team last year in the indoor world championships in South Korea. So I think Casper can be proud of what's going on here and how much it's feeding into our programs and helping everybody.
And Charlie was saying that despite the accomplishments of Lauren and Jerea, both All-Americans this year in track and field, he said that your accomplishment was one of the top 3 or 4 in all of track and field in the state this year. So when your training partner's saying that about you, what is that like?
Well,
he said he was a little biased. He did say
he could. I would say that he's very biased, but that's just me. No, I just I've had some setbacks, and I was actually in a lot better condition about a year and a half ago, and I got really sick with strep in January a year and a half ago, and it took me more than a year to recover because it got into my joints and caused some damage and soft tissue, and it was really painful and a struggle last fall and winter during the recovery period. But I feel like I'm maybe back to 95%, and I look forward to getting back into top shape again, maybe by indoor this year.
I wish I could win anything when I wasn't 100%, so good for you. So, Dwain, what's the next step for you as far as competition or with the Speed Academy as well?
I think the next step, of course, is to try and focus on really sharpening up the blade, so to speak, to get that last 5 to 10% by, the indoor season maybe. And who knows? I think the indoor pentathlon is probably my best event. About 3 years ago, I had the highest score in the world in the indoor heptathlon. So that tends to be my better event. So I was actually, that's why I say I was a little bit surprised to win the decathlon. I finished second in it 2 years ago and fourth in it 4 years ago. So we'll just keep moving ahead and keep trying to recover and get better every day.
Well, congratulations, Dwain, on that incredible accomplishment. The Decathlon national champion in the 55 to 59-year-old age group. And we'll be back with some more Sports Corner in just a moment.